Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Sounds of the Hardwood podcast. On today's episode, we'll be going over our reactions and thoughts to the NBA All Star Weekend events on Friday and on Saturday. Those that missed those events on Friday was the All Star Game and the NBA Rising Stars Challenge. I almost forgot the name of the title real quick because they don't change it a few times and the structure a few times. So it's now the Legends teams they did this year, sponsored by Clorox. Weird sponsor, but NBA got to get that bag. Go ahead and do that. And then Saturday you have the skills challenge, 3-point contest, and the dunk contest that put some people to sleep. But if you watched it through, I guess you have your opinion on what you felt about the dunk contest, and then we will preview the All Star game in terms of who we think is going to win and who is going to be the MVP of the game. How you guys been doing this weekend?
Good. Disappointed with yesterday's or last night's events. It started out okay, but it ended badly. They could have just done without. I should have known whenever we saw like a halftime or like a intermission segment with Steph Curry and Aisha Curry about last night and some dumb game contest that like you're blindfolded and you drink some Gatorade. And I mean that was so bad. It was like, how much force can you get with this? Like it was awful.
All right.
All Star Weekend is something that we all looked forward to,
Yeah.
when we were younger, and just over the years, it's just like, it's been pretty forgettable. Like, I even forgot there was an All Star Weekend this week. Just I wasn't looking forward to it. Not even like the dunk contest. I mean, probably the only thing most exciting is like the 3-point.
Right.
And which is weird because, like, when we were younger, it's like we all waited for the dunk contest. Now it's the other way around. Now it's the 3-point contest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right, so we'll start off with Friday with the celebrity game. Did anybody watch the celebrity game? Did y'all actually watch it?
No.
no,
I didn't know half of the people in it. Like, I mean, obviously Machine Gun Kelly, like Quavo, but like who even won the game? Because I couldn't even tell
Okay.
you, like,
I didn't watch
either
it.
one of you know who won or who was MVP
Who
or
was it?
anything. Like, because I couldn't
ain't
even
gonna
tell you
lie to
without
you.
having to Google it.
the
That's how
only
bad
thing,
it was.
the only thing I saw was like, like a highlight reel for Miles Garrett, like where he got like a
I think called a
monster
dunk.
block,
Mm.
I
and
think
he
he
got
did
a
have a
dunk.
dunk. Yeah, he had
But
a
other
dunk.
than that, like, even that, I was just like, whatever.
Yeah, that's
He was the highlight of the game with that dunk. People were excited about that. I don't really be watching it. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it's just not a draw to me to watch it. I know some
mm.
people do watch it because they want to see the celebrities in the game and see if they can actually play ball. I mean, hit or miss on that sometimes.
Apparently Alex Toussaint took home the game's MVP after scoring
Okay.
18 points, and he led Bill Walton's coached team to a 65-51 victory over Team Dominique.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's the highlight because I there's nothing else I
Well, I
really
mean,
see.
there was I forgot his name though. There was like that one uh Olympic guy who got like a putback dunk, which was it was pretty nice.
Okay.
I'm not gonna hate on that. I forgot his name. Oh, Gianmarco Tamberi.
Hmm.
Yeah, he had
Okay.
a pretty nice like putback dunk. But other than that, it was just like
I mean,
shrugs.
it was bad enough that the only thing that I saw on social media was everybody roasted Machine Gun Kelly for wearing the retro J's without socks, like no-show socks. That's how bad it was. Like, that was the
Not a
highlight
hooper.
tweet that came out, and people like flooded
He's
social
not a
media with
hooper.
that.
He didn't know. He didn't know that you can't step on a basketball court looking like with ankle socks. He didn't know that.
Yeah, not with those particular Jordans. Actually, any Jordans really, but those especially.
But you live
Yeah,
and you
that's.
learn, right?
I mean, if you're like, I thought about like something that might, instead of doing these celebrities that like pretty much nobody knows, like they're B or C list celebrities, why not do, because so many media members talk, shit all year about how players should be more efficient doing this and they should be able to do this. And why not have media members, 2 teams comprised of like
Mhm.
the top tier guys? Like you get, I mean, not necessarily Zach Lowe, but like him, for example, or like get some of these like athletic writers that think they're know the game so well and so good. Why not get them out there? And then that way you have, something for the players basically to critique. And then they need to get players on the commentary during the game. And so that way it kind of sparks, because that would boost social media. Because it's like,
Yeah.
all right, so and so is actually really good, or so and so's trash. Like, you can't ever say anything to me anymore. And like, some different things like that, like just to spark interest, because there's no real interest in, like, Myles Garrett's fine, but like that's not really, other than playing for the Cleveland Browns, what was he going to bring to the contest that was going to put fans in the seats?
Yeah. Now I'm not sure these celebrities got their own schedules that they do, but I feel like if they kind of did like how football does, like kind of like Hard Knocks, where you get an inside look at like training camp. I think if they told these celebrities like enough time in advance and kind of like put together like a little mini camp, and you documented it and recorded it and kind of like a vlog of their progress of going to the gym and like working as basketball players and then working as a team and learning the plays and stuff like that. You have enough personalities where it could be entertaining, where people would kind of watch it like a mini reality series of their process of preparing for the celebrity game. And then now when you watch it, you kind of go into the game knowing like, okay, he's really trash, but he's funny. So it adds an element to the game that you don't get to see, because the first time we watched him play is the game. So the people who really not that good, you say to yourself, okay, why are they even on the court? But if you said you watched it kind of like a reality show, and you're like, okay, they're there because they're just hilarious.
Right.
So you look past the fact that they're really not that good about basketball. And I think that's what Kevin Hart brought when he was in the game. He brought both the skill, but he was funny as hell. And I don't think we had somebody like that in the game in a while that gives the humor and the basketball at the same time.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. That's probably the last time like I saw the celebrity. I know he was like MVP 3 straight years or something, or 4, and then the year after, like he became like one of the coaches or assistant coaches.
Right.
So that was the last time I actually saw a Celebrity All-Star game, was when Kevin Hart was in it.
Back when I was younger, they used to do I don't think they'll do it anymore because just for liability reasons, but they did like the Legends game where you had like players like in the 90s, you would have players that played like in the 80s or whatever coming out on the court, and they would play like a pickup game. Like you could sprinkle in not like a whole team comprised of legends, but sprinkle them in. Then you could do like some NBA legends, maybe some social media influencers that are actually athletes. Like not I play video games and here I am, like actual like athletes or like something like that, that's like an influencer. Just something that sparked like interest.
And look who took MVP, the Peloton instructor. I mean, he had a good game. He had what, like 18 points?
Yeah, 18. Yeah.
Or maybe do 3-on-3 instead of 5v5 because it's more controlled setting.
Something.
I mean, because I feel like if you do 3v3 with subs, kind of like the big 3v3 with the sub.
Yeah, you could have like a celebrity, NBA legend, and probably like a WNBA player.
Yeah, then you could do it'd be a better feel. And it's easy to control that because guys that are not that talented in a half court game, it's kind of easier to make their job simple.
Right.
But in a full court game, then there's like a whole different element that they just can look lost out there. Rather, if it's a half court game, you can control that a little bit better. And like Soto said, that would be a good idea to do a celebrity, a former NBA player, and a WNBA player. Then that would probably make you want to watch it.
You know, King of the Court would be. I would watch that. Like have somebody,
But I don't think everybody want to bang with Myles Garrett and the King of the Court though.
That's true.
He as a football player out there. I think that would have got ugly.
Yeah, like I mean, like some of the celebrities, whatever, like were okay. Like Myles Garrett, that was a good selection, but like there was like other questionable selections that were like really like. I mean, we questioned the Peloton instructor, and yet he won MVP. So
yeah, but look, I mean, there wasn't much in the field to really say competition.
That's what made it weird. But then that's just some thoughts and ideas of how they can maybe spice it up a little bit.
Hmm.
But they did make changes to the Rising Stars game to try to make it more exciting again to watch, make it feel a little bit kind of like the rookie sophomore challenge,
Hmm.
but even out the teams and make it for a more competitive game. And we did see some interesting head-to-head battles. The most interesting one that people really talked about was the Cade Cunningham going at LaMelo Ball, and it ended up being a good game. Cade Cunningham ultimately ended up winning the MVP. So, what do y'all guys feel about those changes that they made? Was it a win or better luck next year?
I thought it was a win. I like it as far as like splitting it up and then having the two teams, play. Then a second game where two teams play, and the winners of those two get to the finals and play.
Mhm.
I like it for the sense that like it brought a little bit more. Like you had guys like Jayshawn Tate, obviously known for defense. He's out there playing defense. LaMelo, if he had gotten that steal late, could have been a totally different, outcome to that game. But I thought it was a good change up because it was getting stale with the US versus the world teams, because
Mhm.
then you're forcing some of the international players that aren't really that good, because you really need an international player out there, and it snubs some of the better performing US players just to fill a space for the international guys. And so I thought that splitting it up this way is a little bit better. Obviously there can be little tweaks here and there, but I do like the Elam ending for the contest, especially. I think that's a good way to continue moving forward. They can always make small tweaks here and there. Take out the Clorox brand out of the equation. That doesn't need to be the sponsor next year. So hopefully it's not a continuing thing, but for obvious reasons.
Oh, I think somebody from Clorox would take offense to that. They think they established a very good relationship with the NBA there.
Mm.
So
Yeah,
the which
I thought it was a pretty good format. Like, it's a way for these players to be somewhat competitive and to see how they coexist with each other. Just the fact that you're putting in 12 rookies, 12 sophomores, and then what was it, like four people from G League.
Yeah, G League Unite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a nice mix to it. So yeah, it was fun. Three game single elimination tournament. So hopefully they bring back that next year, and yeah, it's a step in the right direction if you want to, like Pete said, like it was getting stale, world versus US. So you just want to spice things up a little bit, and that was a good start.
got you. I think it was better than what it's been. I didn't like I was not a fan at all of that world versus
Mm-mm.
US because I'm like it doesn't really make sense because there's not enough dominant world players that could continuously play. Like they are top world players in the NBA, but once they get past their first or second year, they're not eligible. So like Pete said, you just like putting a guy that played like 3 minutes all year into the game just because. So I didn't like that structure. And I did like seeing the battle of seeing Cade Cunningham and LaMelo go at each other because those supposed to be the two young up and coming point guards in the Eastern Conference that maybe down the line we see some playoff battles between the two of them. So it was nice seeing them go at each other. And I always felt like when it was the right, like kind of like that Rising Star soft challenge type of setup, kind of like what this was, even though they shuffled up the teams, it makes the game more competitive because you have those matchups that guys take serious because it's like I normally play against you anyway, so now I'm playing you on a national stage that I don't normally get to have you on, so I can kind of go at you and show that I'm the better out of the two of us. And then you kind of have those draft battles too, guys that feel they got overlooked for another player. They tend to go at each other in those environments. So I think it worked. I don't like the Clorox either. I'm not gonna lie to you. It just seems weird because I'm trying to see the connection. Like I said, the NBA does a great job with their marketing that they got something that you don't think is related to basketball to be a sponsor for an event. So, I mean, shout outs to them. But it just sounds weird saying that is the name of the event. But,
Right.
it is what it is on that point. And that was Friday's events. We got the celebrity game, which, we got the Good Rising Stars Challenge. And then we went to Saturday night, which is the biggest night even though the All-Star game is the biggest main event, but the biggest night usually is the Saturday night events because that's the skills challenge, the three-point contest, and the dunk contest. It's supposed to be the three best events that the NBA puts forth during the All-Star weekend. So in the skills challenge, like always, we had guards versus big battle with the team Cavs being the team for the big people. We had the Giannis brothers. We had the rookie team. And was I missing anything? Was it?
No, it was the three.
Okay.
It was
I'm just making
Cavs,
sure.
Antetokounmpos, and rookies.
Okay. Well, I don't understand the Giannis team. I mean, unless Giannis was going to do every event by himself every time, I didn't really see. That's no disrespect to his brothers, but
No, you could say it.
there's no disrespect to his brothers,
fine.
but there's a noticeable talent gap between the three brothers.
Yeah.
There's a noticeable one. I'd rather have seen the Holiday brothers because
Yes.
I think Justin and Drew as guards, and then Justin is a decent 3-point shooter. There's enough of a combination of skills with the three of them that they could have
Would've
made
been
it
more
probably work
competitive.
better than the Giannis brothers. And the Rooks team, they just look happy to be out there. I don't think they really cared about whether or not they won. They were just happy to be there. Like, they out there smoking layups and laughing and having a good time. Like, you're trying to win the event. You're out here missing 8 straight layups. What is funny about that? Though the world just saw you miss 8 straight wide open layups.
I would have. I don't know how you could have. Like, they should have swapped out Barnes and said, "Hey, we got to get somebody else to be the third guy." Just because Barnes, like,
if I'm Masai Ujiri this morning, I'm calling him like, bro, you just made the whole Raptors organization look bad. We drafted you as a lottery pick. You can't even make a wide open layup in a contest.
well, when he was in the actual skills thing, when they had to go down and do the little, I guess, floater or whatever. I mean, he went all the way up at the peak of his jump and like floated up there, and like as he came down, his eyes were like so wide, like, "Oh man, I made it!" Yes. And then he could go over to shoot the corner three, and I'm just like, dude, that's pretty bad. Like a 5-foot floater, and you had to like pray that it went in. Like,
that's what I was like. that was
It was
funny
tough.
seeing that. It was funny. It was. I ain't gonna lie to you, it was. But the hometown team took it. The Cavaliers team, the bigs, Mobley, Allen, and I forgot the third name.
Garland.
Garland. There you go, Garland. Sorry to Garland. You're just the shortest one out of the group. I forgot which.
Hey, he was
but he was clutch.
Him and
though.
Mobley were shooting well.
They was clutch. They took it serious. I mean, like,
Well, when when Cunningham hit that in 9 seconds, I was like, oh man, that's pretty quick. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know if they can get that. And then literally on his like second attempt, Mobley just pulls up, like didn't even like come forward, just pulled up and splashed it. And I was like, damn, 5 seconds.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
I didn't expect that.
It was coming. They came to win. I give them credit for that.
Yeah.
They took it. Their energy level was there the whole time. It was like, we're gonna have fun, but we want to win too. And you could respect that.
Are we going to talk about the decision, the tiebreaker decision? The Antetokounmpo brothers sent the Nassus, who shot 8 total 3-pointers this year. They sent him at the top of the key
Okay.
to go against Darius Garland. Garland standing there like, I don't even have to do anything. Like,
in his, but in his fairness, Giannis was like what, 20-some% from 3-point
I would
line?
take Giannis over.
No, I would take Giannis in a heartbeat.
8 threes.
What is he shooting on them 8 threes? He got to be better than 50. I guess that's the theory.
No, it's not really. I'll look it up. Go ahead. I'll look it up while you're going.
Because I mean, I get it. Giannis looks out for his bros like that. So I mean, they're a close knit family. I give
Yo,
him credit for
shit, I
looking out
wanna
for his
win.
bro. Hey, at least chilling. You know?
9%. 9% on threes.
I mean, in theory, what is that fan that shoots the half court heave shoot? So I mean, I guess they was like, he just got to hit
16% for his career on threes.
He just got to hit one.
You could have, went with Giannis. I mean, yeah, Giannis is not shooting that great from 3. 1%.
Giannis is shooting 31% this year.
But his last 10 games, he's shooting 42% from the 3-point line.
I mean, I don't understand. Like, I guess he was just like, nah, because if I miss this, it might hurt.
He wanted his
more,
little
you
bro to
got
get
it.
his shot. Exactly.
Maybe he's
Get
trying to
Get his
give
shine.
confidence. Like, hey,
Exactly.
you don't play that much. Like, let me
Exactly.
give you the spotlight. Like
That's
something.
big bro looking out. But I
I'll
don't.
give them that. They were hustling, like all that hustling, and then they're bricking shot after shot after shot. Like Giannis was like going full speed, and then it was like clank. All right, goes to the corner, clank, and I was like, "Damn, this is bad." Like you're showing heart, but it's just not going in. And you had Alex, who is an athletic dunker, like his older brother, and he's sitting there like didn't even touch the rim. It like hit nothing but glass. And I was just like, damn, that was my pick too. And I didn't know how that was before I knew how they were going to split it up because I thought it was going to be like last year where they go through the little maze and then you got to do all that stuff. And I was like, okay, that Antetokounmpo brothers are athletic, they're long, they'll be able to get through, the obstacle course, not knowing it was split up. Once I found out it was split up, I was like, damn, that's a bad pick.
Really? I thought you had the Rooks. I had the Rooks.
No, I had Antetokounmpo brothers, and then I did. We'll talk about the 3-point contest
Okay.
in a minute.
That's another bad pick.
Yeah, I was. My picks were trash.
The big fellas, the Cavaliers team held it down. I don't think I picked anybody. I wasn't too sure. I don't think I said anybody because I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't trust the Rooks because they're rookies. I wasn't too sure about the Giannis brothers because anything involving shooting, same thing. I was questioning, can they make a shot?
Right.
So I didn't want to touch that. But it was a fun event to watch though, because I mean the teams for the most part all played seriously. They wasn't out there just like ha 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 ha. Like they actually were trying to each win it, and it made it exciting for the crowd to feed in and actually get excited by a skills challenge. And then we moved on to the 3-point contest, where I don't think some people gonna say they picked Karl-Anthony Towns, but I don't know anybody that picked Karl-Anthony Towns. To be honest with you.
Well, I mean, Henry just put on the comment section. I should have bet Cat would win. That was my sleeper. Henry, Cat didn't like. You didn't even mention Cat. I love you, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Nobody was picking Karl-Anthony Towns unless you were like Karl-Anthony Towns' family or like Timberwolves players,
or like a Timberwolves fan like that.
So, but I give him credit. He went out there and he shot lights out. I mean, he really did. He deserved to win that. He shot like he wanted to win.
Yeah.
I mean, he called himself the best shooting big man after this. I mean,
negative. I was just about to go to that.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get. I mean, are we just gonna shit all over Dirk?
You're gonna have to make a playoff series before you call yourself the best shooter in the history of the NBA.
I mean, I'll give Anthony Davis as a better shooter over.
I mean, you was hot last night.
Yeah, Kevin Love too. Like,
he was hot, but yeah, I ain't gonna say that. But I'm gonna pass it on.
He was on the roll. He found his rhythm. He had a good shooting night. I mean, there's no knocking it. But to call yourself, one of the best, big man shooters of all time, or
And then was it Wade that backed it up? Like he got halfway through the racks, and then Wade like backed him up, like, "Oh, we got the best shooter out here, best big man shooter." And I was like, "Dude, like,
you gotta hype it.
Are you serious right now?
You need that hype. You need that hype." So who did you have to win? Who did you win?
I went bias. I went Patty Mills.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did Patty Mills do?
He just missed the cut for like the last round.
Okay,
I forgot. So I mean, I'm not too upset about that. But
he did okay. He did all right.
Yeah, the last round was Kennard, Towns, and
Trae Young.
Trae Young.
Me and Pete was way off. I always got eliminated in the first round.
I had Desmond Bain. I should have known the rookie coming in, like rookie to the contest, wasn't going to get it. Maybe he did too many bicep curls beforehand, like something. But the shots looked good, like the form looked good. It was just they just weren't falling. And then Levine, I think, should have just sat out the contest, like I talked about before we got started with the show, just because of obvious reasons with injury and stuff like that, and the lift on a shot. What's weird is guys like Kennard, Trae Young, guys that are more lift shooters, didn't shoot their normal form. They changed it up for the contest, and I guess because it's so much like it's weird grabbing a ball off the rack, like I've done 3-point contests before, and it is weird because you got to like grab it enough time
from the side,
and like it's just different. But at the same time, like I felt like it could have been a better performance from Bane, but like Kennard, so the finals I had, it was Bane, and Kennard like as my runner up or whatever. I mean, going in to the finals, I was like, all right, like Kennard's hot, he has a chance. Never in a million years would I thought Karl-Anthony Towns would have got it. But if you watch the footwork, Towns shot exactly like he does in actual games, every single shot. He was the only one that stayed true to his actual form throughout, and he's the one with the least amount of lift on his shot too. So that kind of gave him an advantage. But I liked it because he paid homage to his mom with the necklace. So
that was dope. Yeah, the Raptors, they're selling me in All-Star events. One time I said Kyle Lowry to win one. He put up like 9, and Kyle Lowry's
that was tough.
And then Van Fleet is out here, can't make a 3. I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah, I had him as the third guy in the finals, finishing third.
It was a bad day for the Raptors players in the All-Star weekend. Okay. Yeah. Scotty Barnes couldn't make a layup, and Van Fleet couldn't make a 3. This is not.
He clanked the side of. Was it the side of the backboard on the first one? Was that Van Fleet that did that?
Yeah, it was a bad day at the office for him that day. But Carlton Towns was on a mission, so he achieved that mission. Hopefully, he shoots like that for the rest of the season. There'll be one of these 3-point shooters that you shoot lights out in the contest and then go cold for the second half of the season. You want to see that. So make sure you have that same energy for the second half of the season when they count. Okay, make sure you hitting these when they actually count. I would have liked to see Seth Curry in there. I feel like he was worthy of being in there this year, but I know
Gary Trent Jr. as well. I thought it would have been a better representation of the Raptors, in my opinion. Even though Van Fleet has a percentage, like I would have thought like a more pure shooter, he would have been just a little bit better option. I haven't seen it talked about like a ton till this morning. Like nobody really mentioned it last night. Like because McCollum was in the contest, this is kind of relevant. He got interviewed afterwards and they talked about Zion playing with Zion. He's like, I haven't talked to him since I've been traded. I thought that was really weird that your second star, like, or third star, if you want to count Ingram as a second guy, like hasn't been in contact at all with your franchise player. Like that's just weird to me. The whole thing.
Zion chilling right now.
It just doesn't give me optimism that he's coming back.
I think the last report I saw, somebody actually found, I forgot who it was. I gotta go check the article again. Said they didn't see him coming back in the unseeable future.
Yeah,
unseeable future. Excuse me. So
I saw a report where he might have a second surgery.
Yeah, I saw that too.
They're discussing that, and I was like, if he has a second surgery, like that's going to put him out for another 6 to 8 months. Like as far as like a major surgery on your foot, like especially with his weight, that's not good going in like to next year. As far as not re-injuring,
he got to change his whole body. Yeah, he's gonna have to change his whole body. He's gonna have to lose weight. He's gonna have to be a completely different player when he finally steps back on the court physically.
But with New Orleans, what do you do moving forward? Because you just made the trade for CJ, and you're trying to build the team to be relevant. Because now they're kind of pushing where it's like the whispers are coming to where like Gail Benson's wanting to sell the team eventually. Like, how do you keep them in New Orleans and keep fans excited if your main attraction is CJ McCollum and Brandon Ingram, and you don't have Zion there for flashiness and just sell tickets? Like it's going to be hard.
It is.
Oh man, Zion's busy and Popeye's waiting to be traded. He don't care. He wants surgery and will sit out this year. That's cold.
Yeah, which brings Coach Norman Fisher to see Zion will be a Nick next year, and honestly, like, there's going to be a trade involved where like the Pelicans are probably going to fleece the Knicks, so it's like it's only a matter of time.
You're going to give him Julius.
You go ahead and say bye-bye to Obi Toppin.
Yeah, and
that's what's taking after Obi. That's why it's unfortunate. It is what it is.
It's going to be a last-ditch effort to keep Tom Thibodeau next year, unfortunately.
But you said Toppin and you said the Knicks. So you had some Knick culture in the dunk contest. You had Cole Anthony, who was Greg Anthony's son, and you had obviously Toppin, who is the former lottery pick of the New York Knicks, who won the dunk contest. I don't. Okay, I'm trying to be nice somewhat because I know there's a lot of effort that goes into that dunk contest, and I'm not a dunker. I ain't gonna act like I'm out here doing 360s. I've never
Me
done one a
either.
day in my life. But when I watched that dunk contest, I said to myself, "This might be the worst dunk contest I've ever witnessed in my life."
Pretty
It's
up
top
there.
5.
Like
It's
Yeah,
not the
literally,
worst,
like
but it's in the top
it's pretty
5.
up there.
it's only one side is the worst because most of the dunkers took like 3-4 attempts to make their dunk. So I'm sitting there
Whoa.
watching miss after
Jalen
miss
Green took what,
until they
9?
finally make their dunk. So it's like,
9
can we
times,
at
yeah.
some point can we just stop? It's like, can you just limit it to like 3 attempts? Can they just get 3 attempts? And if they don't get one done off in the 3 attempts, can you just give
You
them
gotta
a
be
0
specific with what
and
an
call
attempt
it a
is
day?
because
Yeah, no, because you got the Gabber step got to be there, and then
right.
kind of like there's just too many rules that gonna play. If you run to the basket and jump in the air, okay, it counts. So, now, unless you drop the ball midair, okay, I might give you that. But if you went up and tried to dunk it, that counts as a dunk attempt. But this was terrible.
Coach Norman Fisher said, "Was
I know,
that
that's why I laughed. Was there a dunk contest?
I guess there was. I've seen better dunks in people's backyards. They should have just done that. Can we just cut to
Well, that's
the
what I said
backyard, lower
last
the
week.
rim to 6 feet?
Have like actual people that can dunk, not some
Yeah, pro
nerdy high
dunkers.
school kid that like thinks he can throw up a dunk on a video, but have like real athletic guys throw up in a contest some good dunks and people can vote on. Like the league narrows down like the top 10, and then fans can go online. They have like 2-3 weeks to vote, and then they vote the best dunk on there, the best dunker on there, and then that dunker gets put into the contest. That's one dunker. Then you put a prize pool of $500,000 or 250 grand, something to where it incentivizes the actual NBA players to say, "Hey, I want to be in this contest now," and take it serious, not oh, this money might go to a charity that the NBA picks. Like I didn't even get to pick it, and then like they're not really going to get that motivated. Like they could have got Zach LaVine on a bum knee out of the stands in street clothes, and he would have had a better dunk than any of the ones that I saw last night. That's how bad it was.
I feel like because like the Olympics do it, the 3-on-3 do it. They have like the Mountain Dew, and they have like showcase events throughout the course of the whole year where it gives amateurs, so to speak, a chance to try out for the 3-on-3. They compete in local level tournaments, and if your team advances, etc., then you may get an opportunity to be on the Olympic team that is selected to participate in the 3-on-3. Right. So I feel like the NBA may have to do that because there are professional dunkers. There are dunk leagues that exist.
Yeah,
so
YouTubers
and they should maybe consider having events throughout the course of the year, like they have with the Junior NBA, stuff like that, or NBA events in general that they do for the fans, where you have a fan type of like dunk contest, and then you pick a winner based on that, let the fans vote for it, and then you have at least one representative that's not an NBA player that's in the dunk contest, that the fans know, okay, this guy is a really good dunker. He's going to give us his best effort because of the fact that he's not a professional player. He's a professional dunker. This is what he does. We're going to be entertained by at least one person on that court.
Right.
Then as for the other NBA players, I like LaVine. I like Eric Gordon. I like John Morant. But sometimes y'all got to stop with the power baby shit. It's like that Dwayne Wade thing wasn't Dwayne Wade. Okay. They were going to vote it a tie. But the NBA said no because the sponsor of the dunk contest said there had to be a winner. So they got down to that last round and they said, this is the last round, no more dunks. Somebody was going to have to vote not tens in order for somebody to win the dunk contest.
Right.
So it's like if you had already gave Derrick Jones a 50, then unfortunately you can't give Aaron Gordon a 50 because that's another tie. Right. So it's like they had to do it for time purposes. That dunk contest ran almost an hour past what it was supposed to go that year. And I think people forget because it was in 2020, it's been a while, that dunk contest went past its end time. So it's like, okay, Dwayne Wade was the person that said, okay, I'm going to give him a random score so we can wrap this up and everybody go home. And then now we're acting like, oh, he ruined the dunk contest. And even if you said he
No.
voted for Derek Jones,
Well, he ruined
he voted
that
for somebody he
dunk
knows.
contest, but not
Right.
I mean, but to me, it's like, okay, Derek Jones' last dunk, he did a between the leg dunk from almost the free throw line.
Right.
Let's not act like that's not a 50. Like we're acting
Right.
like as if that's a trash ass dunk.
Right.
Aaron Gordon tried to recreate Vince Carter's dunk, jumping over a 7-footer. The problem is we've seen 6'4" Russell Westbrook dunk on Taco Fall. So we're
Right.
not sitting there getting amazed
Right.
because you dunked on Taco Fall. That's not a 50.
And he ducked underneath, so it's not. He didn't clear him all the way, like because he kind of pushed off a little bit and he ducked his head just a slight bit.
And when Vince Carter dunked on that 7-footer, that man, his soul.
I mean, he cleared him.
He cleared him.
He cleared him.
So it's like you tried to do a dunk that wasn't that crazy. And then for him to be on strike, well, I think the Nuggets need to put you on strike because you average 12 points and make $20 million a year. So they should put you on strike in general from your contract that they're paying you for the lack of production.
Well,
to me, not to be long with the last thing, it's like, to me, right, if I'm not a valid all-star, like Zach LaVine, you get an excuse because you made the all-star team. Donovan Mitchell normally makes the all-star team. I give y'all a passes. Y'all are bona fide all-stars in this league. But if I'm a role player like an Eric Gordon or Derek Jones, somebody like that, or even when John Morant wasn't making the all-star team, if I'm a guy that I'm not at that status yet, I should be doing a dunk contest.
Anthony Edwards should have been it. Like, I get that he's not like a super creative, but Anthony Edwards would have gotten people to watch, I think, just because of his, number one, his charisma and swag, like just overall, like him coming in, because I could see him coming in doing the Larry Bird thing, like who's coming in second and talking trash all week. And then he would actually come out and perform.
Would you have put like John Morant?
I think
John Morant's salty because of, you know, what's happened in the past with stuff. So I don't think he's going to want to actually do it. And that's where you get into, I'm sure there's plenty of other players around the league that would actually want to, like, really want to do it. It's like the 3-point contest. There's always 3 or 4 guys that are like, I really want to be in the contest, and they don't get picked.
And even with that, I think it's better because you actually get some of the best shooters. The problem is we got like B-list dunkers, and we want them to give us an A-list performance.
Right.
And that's what the problem is.
Because Cole Anthony's not a flashy, man, he throws highlight dunks all the time. Like, he might catch a dunk here or there. Like the Rising Stars game dunk off the lob was good, but it wasn't anything where it was like, man, if you throw this into a dunk contest, he's going to win it. Like, it wasn't anything exceptional. And then the 9 attempts Jalen Green took, I mean, the first round took, 35 minutes to get through, because it's like, here's the 19 misses total by players on their first dunk attempt, you know, and then it's like, do these guys even really care? Because it's like, you got guys pointing where it's like, all right, how long is this going to, like, Obi Toppin was tapping his arm like a wristwatch. Like, how much time are we going to take here? You know, and it's like, how many chances are you going to get? Like, everybody seems like they missed on the dunks they were going to do. And it's like, this just isn't entertaining.
Yeah, every single one.
Like, if there weren't so many misses, I don't think it would have been as bad, because it would have been like, all right, these weren't highlight dunks, but at least they, you know, tried. It turned into trash when it takes you 5 attempts to do a dunk that's just like, that's all you did? Yeah. Like, you do that in a game. Like, that's not that much. Obi Toppin had some good dunks. It just weren't 50s.
Pizzazz.
Yeah.
He likes the style of the dunk part.
Yeah, no, like, it's like, you know, you have the style for it, but you can't finish strong. And, you know, like I said before, like, the dunk contest was like one of the most anticipated, like, parts, you know, of the NBA season. So, and I feel like when we talk about like Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon, like, I think when people say like we were spoiled by them, it's absolutely true, because they set a new bar, because obviously, you know, Vince and Dominique, they set, you know, bars themselves, but most recently they set a bar that, like, every year going into the dunk contest, we're like, oh man, like, we're about to see this crazy, and we get disappointed, you know, and we haven't seen a crazy dunk or contest since probably that year. So yeah, like this was absolutely trash. You know, just to sum it up real quick, The whole thing, like, I don't know, there was not really like an effort. They weren't creative. It was the same. It was either a windmill dunk or in between the legs, and it's like stuff that we've seen constantly, year in and year out. So,
And to me, it's like weird because like you go on social media and you see people they can't even dunk on a Huffy rim, and they sitting there going, "Oh, the dunk contest wasn't made to last." Like, well, you can't even dunk in real life. What are you talking about? It wasn't made to last. You can't even dunk. So you're passing judgment on the dunks like you could go do them. If you're saying, okay, was
Right.
this dunk contest wasn't that good? Yes, but I ain't saying to the point where you got to get rid of the dunk contest. All I'm saying is like we're getting to a point where it's like, okay, hypothetical analogy. If I'm doing a movie and I want Denzel Washington and I can't get him, I'm not gonna go down to a local theater now and go get somebody to replace my choice of Denzel Washington. That's
Right.
basically what the NBA dunk contest is. It's like, okay, the best guys don't want to do it. All right, so let's just grab a bunch of guys and then throw them in.
I would have rather
Like
seen.
you said earlier, the guy from the.
Oh, go ahead. No, I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad. My fault.
Oh, no, you good. You good. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, why not? I would have rather seen like Miles Bridges from Charlotte,
Mhm.
Kenyon Martin Jr. from Houston. You could have got Jackson Hayes, maybe, in it, like something like different variation of players that are more exciting, like dunkers across the board. Like Jonathan Kuminga was already there. Like you couldn't got Kuminga in there. Like like I said, Anthony Edwards would have been a pick. I mean, I feel like even though like Scotty Barnes can't make layups,
He can't dunk.
he would have been better making dunks than watching Cole Anthony put on some Timbs. And I don't really know what that was, but
He was trying to do a windmill off his dad's extended handoff, but yeah, he's not really. He didn't get up high enough to really, windmill it and dunk it with some type of authority. I know what he was trying to do, but it wasn't there. And that's the other thing too. Some of these guys, it's like, how much prep are you doing for it? Because it's like you're doing dunks we've kind of seen before, and that's why I feel like you have to have that element of that professional dunker because they're gonna haven't seen because that's their life. They spend it working on different type of dunks. So we're gonna see something that we go, whoa, what was that? Because some of these dunkers, you watch them on YouTube, they do dunks where it's like, how the hell do you even do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like backwards, going behind the back between the legs or reverse between the legs. Some of these dunks is just crazy. Some of these guys do, and these NBA players try to do it, but it's like you're not polished at it. Like Obi tried to do some of those unorthodox finishes, but it's like he doesn't polish it, so it's like it lacked that like you won it on the end of it. Like he ripped the rim off when he finished. It was just more calmer finishes. But I mean, it is what it is at this point.
And then you have Jalen Green saying, "Oh, I need next year." I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, dude, you're done. Like
done.
No.
It's the chain. No. That chain was holding him down. It was that chain. That chain was heavy. That's what it was. He learned.
Didn't Anthony Simons win it? Wasn't he the winner last time they did it? Did he win it?
Year.
I think so. Yeah.
Why did he not come back to defend?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the thing that's missing. That competitiveness of it is gone. Like other eras you had, there was a bit of a bragging rights to win the dunk contest and 3-point contest. I think that's kind of lost now. It's there for the 3-point contest, but for the dunk contest, I don't like guys pride in being dunkers anymore. So it's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Jalen Green, stay away. You're not even the best dunker on your team. Like, sorry.
I'm surprised they have Porter Jr. I'm surprised they didn't have Kenny Martin Jr.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny Martin Jr. has more dunks on the season. He's he's a little bit more athletic for his size and what he does, like on the team. Josh Christopher's even more so like an athletic player as well. Like
power dunker too.
I don't even know that Jalen Green's the best dunker on his team. He may be, but he wouldn't be back in the contest if I was in charge of the NBA. I would say, dude, you come out with an NFT chain, and thank God somebody told you to give it to Isaiah Thomas, because that thing would have busted you in the face, and you have a fractured nose, and you can't play coming out of the All-Star break. Like, I'm curious, did anybody asked Cole Anthony about his thumb because he's sitting there flexing his thumb for
Yeah.
5 minutes after the dunk. I'm like, did you break your thumb on the rim? Because it did. His hand like went off of the rim and his thumb went backwards. And I was like, I wonder if he broke it.
Yeah.
That would be that would just set off the entire weekend of just tragicness all the way around.
That would have happened.
Henry, I can't agree with you, man. Like that Curry segment was not better than the dunk contest. It was awful, but I'll give the dunk contest the nod over that. I don't know what that Curry thing was. That should have never happened. Who green lighted that? I don't know.
I don't know either. But it was there. It was a part of the festivities that we witnessed. So it fit with a bad dunk contest and an awkwardly segment. Now that brings us to the Sunday events, which is the All-Star game tonight at 8. Team LeBron versus Team Durant. So who do you guys think are going to be the winner of the game? And who do you think is going to be the MVP?
Well, I'm gonna stay with my original choice. I'm saying Team LeBron wins, and I'm saying that Giannis wins MVP.
Okay.
You know, they don't play defense, so there's gonna be like easy dunks for Giannis. And if you look the last couple of years, he's one of the like few players who really like, you know, takes the game serious and like actually like puts in effort. So yeah, I'm going to Giannis.
Okay.
I'm going to say Team LeBron, but I have a feeling because it's Cleveland, Giannis would be my first pick, but I'm going to say dark horse pick Darius Garland because I feel like LeBron's going to try to feed the hometown guy a bunch to give it a highlight of honoring Cleveland for the weekend. Like somehow, you know, get
or
Garland
LeBron might
involved.
say, "Fuck that shit, I'm taking this shit."
Yeah, true.
He need a win somewhere this year. I don't. All-Star games is always tough because it depends on when they decide they're going to take it serious. Because sometimes the games get turned ugly in the first half because one team is not playing that serious. Talent-wise, LeBron has the better team.
Right.
I can clearly tell that Durant does not give any advice on how to build the Brooklyn Nets because his draft selecting of his teams is horrible. So maybe that's why the Harden deal didn't work out. Maybe he did orchestrate that because his drafting is like, are you just picking your friends at this point? Because I'm trying to figure out how this team works. So LeBron it's a landslide of which team is better. It's LeBron's team. Now the MVP, I really don't know. Because there's a lot of scorers in the game. So usually the MVP nowadays is always who scored the most points on a winning team. Trae Young would be, but you know, I don't. If the 3-point contest was an indication of how he's feeling this weekend, then I don't know how serious he's going to take the game. Right. LeBron isn't always an option because LeBron is going to get his assists. He's going to get his points. Giannis the same thing. And then he's also going to start playing defense. I think he's like one of the few superstars that really plays defense the entire game. An All-Star game is Giannis. So I'll say that. And I could see the Darius Garland, if he gets hot, LeBron, you know, feeding him the ball and trying to let them get a hometown MVP. So I could see that as a possibility. So I'm really not set in stone on the MVP as much as that's not answering the question, but I'm not really, because I just don't know in today's climate with, you know, how these guys, you know, sometimes take the All-Star game seriously. I can't think of that one person that I know is going to step on that court saying, I want the MVP, like a Kobe or Michael Jordan type of mindset. So, yeah. If Garland win it, though, that'd be dope to see that because then they've won, so to speak, 2 events in theory. The Team Cast won the skills challenge, and then if he wins the MVP, and then hopefully he wins their coach and JB Bickerstaff wins the coach of the year. I mean, it would be nice to see that. But
it'll be him or Billy Donovan for Chicago for sure.
Yeah. One of those 2 options, but no, in the NBA, they'll figure out a way to give the tips.
I'll be curious to see how much Zach LaVine plays with the injury, and then now Chris Paul with the cast on his wrist. I thought that was interesting. Is it the LeBron cast where it's like, all right, maybe you got a wrist injury, or like, what are we doing here? You know. We'll see, because I kind of find it odd. Chris Paul has the MRI on Thursday, and not one report has come out what the results were.
Yeah.
But Anthony Davis goes to the back after getting hurt.
Everybody
We got
knows,
a
yeah.
we
he's
got
out
an
4
answer
weeks.
within like
we got
20 minutes.
we got everything that we needed to know.
You know,
I know another option I could have said for MVP is Embiid. That's another one I could have thought about because he got
True.
a little MVP battle going up against Jokic. So I kind of just thought about that. Then he just got Harden, so he's feeling good right now. He don't add the step back to the repertoire.
Oh my God, that was so bad.
And that was his first attempt at it.
I feel like Luka might show off a little bit today.
Yeah, I can
I'll
see that.
I'll put him as my sleeper.
Luka, see, that's the thing. Like Luka plays casual in the All-Star game, though. Like he really don't look like he's trying. Like since he
looked like he just has fun, but but he is playing with Jokic, so
yeah,
and he has like
so
this
that's the reason
new
why I said that.
found relationship with Jokic.
Maybe he wants him to come to Dallas because he ain't going to Denver.
No,
He's not going to
Coach
Denver.
Norman Fisher, stay off my Knicks. We'll stay off your sorry Lakers.
Hey, I'm just spoiling about that fact that Tibbs got a coach of the year he don't deserve. You need to give it to Monty Williams.
yeah, Monty Williams should have got that for sure.
You don't go from coach of the year to one of the worst teams in the league that fast.
Well, that's too damn bad.
I mean, it shows like who should have got the award just based off of this year. Like you can say what you want about Randall being terrible, but we knew that was a fluke season last year anyway.
The Knicks are looking like. Imagine the team looking like you really actually miss Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock. Imagine that. Imagine that your team looked that bad because you lost Elfrid Payton and Reggie Bullock. That is phenomenal. Excuse me, I'm talking about Frank Nitti. My fault. That was the defender y'all had on that team.
Oh man.
Y'all lost 3 players and y'all got one of the worst records in the league. That's phenomenal.
I mean,
Question will be the rebuttal. I'm not a Knicks fan, but the question is going to be: are the Lakers going to be at home watching the playoffs just like the Knicks at this point?
Yes,
ADs are. We gotta
just like the Knicks. Just like the Knicks miss, Bullock or Payton, according to Keem. They also miss, the Lakers miss Schroeder. They miss Kuzma. They miss Harrell.
Kuzma's not a joke because Kuzma's averaging double this year, and Pope was a key part of that championship run.
Yeah,
so it's not slander. It's Pope was
have
a key
fun
part of
with Westbrook.
And Kuzma. Hey, look, I will take Westbrook right now over looking like you really miss Elfrid Payton, who's on a Phoenix Suns sitting next to the Gatorade cooler. At least I'll deal with the potential.
At least Elfrid Payton look like he's going to win a chip this year.
Doing what? Cheerleading?
Yes.
Cheerleading to the team.
How much longer do we have till Bronny's in the NBA? 3 years?
Yeah.
So 3 more years of LeBron before he bounces. So
he'll be 39 by the time that Bronny's eligible to the draft.
It'll be interesting to see because management apparently is saying, hey, you guys wanted Westbrook, you gotta stick with it. So you got, Anthony Davis hurt every season, which obviously with his height, he's going to have chronic injuries. There's not a lot. I mean, you could sit there and take rehab serious all you want, but once your body has a significant injury, it's going to have a chance for another significant injury pretty high, especially at his height.
Yeah.
And the way that he plays. Westbrook, that contract you're not coming off of unless you're taking something really bad back. So going into next season, you can't keep Talen Horton-Tucker just because you can't, or Malik Monk just because you can't re-sign him based on his value with what you have. So now your best asset really left is Talen Horton-Tucker, which doesn't have any value at this point now at all.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do in the offseason to fill the roster? LeBron's got to be thinking about who do I want as the head coach in here next year, and what can we do to get something different in? Because I think they make the play in. I don't think there's a danger of them falling out, but I don't think they get past the first round. So
if they got Phoenix, that's the problem. If they get Phoenix in the first round, that's going to be their problem.
It's just going to be disappointing all the way around, though. So then it's all offseason, everybody's going to throw in, how are they going to get rid of Westbrook? How are they going to open up money? With the Knicks, at least they have contracts that they can couple together to get out of some of the money owed to like Randall, because you can like Randall doesn't have the greatest value around the league, but you could package Randall a first, Fournier, and something else and get something marginally back that's not as many years on your cap, and then you still have room to get free agents in that want to play. So it's hard to say across the board like the Knicks are going to be bad next year versus the Lakers don't really have a way out right now. Like at least the Knicks have some options, whether they use it wisely or not. The Lakers are just going to be tougher just because of, I mean, with Westbrook, Davis, and LeBron, you're already at the cap. There's no room for anybody.
Yeah, there's no flexibility
I think
there.
Russell's expiring contract. I think Russell's in his last year.
It's a player option though, right?
Yeah. I think he probably going to decline that.
I wouldn't.
Mm,
Because you're going to get veteran minimum. Like nobody's going to pay him $20 million a year.
He'll probably accept it so he get his money, but I think he understands that you're not going to be a Laker next year, big fella.
I don't think he's not going to understand that. He's going to opt in.
Yeah, I think he doesn't give a crap about.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm here.
He's probably going to. Honestly, I think he gets bought out. I
think so.
I think the Lakers buy him out, and I think the Houston Rockets buy out John Wall because he's in that last year. And I think they.
I agree with the Rockets, yeah. But does John Wall make the Lakers better next year?
It's a better option than freaking Russell right now. I think John Wall's a better fit because how he plays.
Right.
He's more of a playmaker, and he's a much better defender at this point than Russell is. I think John Wall can play. Like he showed flashes of it last year. He just had rust because he had to be playing. I mean, what Houston is doing to him is that's just disrespectful. I mean, you playing Aaron Gordon, that's a whole nother topic. But you get the point. You playing some older guys on that team that ain't doing nothing either. But he can't play. But that's a whole different topic for another episode.
There's also questions with John Wall because he's also going to be rusty. After not playing a year, and then I know he's going to be fully healthy, but can he maintain that?
I mean, he should be able to. I mean, he played in basically almost 2 years. He played last year and played another year. He was healthy last year. He didn't have any problems with his injuries last year.
Right.
With the Rockets. This year, it's just the Rockets decided
the contract situation.
So you got any closing thoughts?
I hope that the second half of the season we have healthy competition. Like teams stay healthy, relatively healthy. We don't have any more major injuries. Because with the East being so close, I'm curious to see how that shakes out because the matchups are going to be super important because you've got teams like Philly, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Miami. Like somebody's going home pretty quick, like in round one. And for any of those teams, there's so many stakes, so high stakes as far as moving forward and just moving pieces. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. The West, I don't know. I'm not sold on Memphis going extremely far. Like I think it's a great story, but like the Memphises, the Utahs, like those kind of teams, Denver. Like I don't think getting Murray, he's still not going to be 100%. Porter's not going to be 100%. Like you can get those guys back, but I don't see deep runs. I think it's Phoenix and pretty much for them to get back to the finals. But I'll be curious watching the East just to see how the standings land, to see what happens.
Gotcha. What about you, Soto?
Well, I would say that, I am a Spurs and a Knicks fan, so the Spurs will make the play-in tournament.
Nice.
The Knicks will not.
Well, I think that's a given. I don't think the Knicks have enough.
I mean, they're like what 3.5, 4 games back.
I think that's
just the East right now is just too stacked because like you have Atlanta who kind of like it's kind of bouncing back a little bit.
Easy last year. Too. I did like they did last year.
The only team that that could be in danger of losing that playing tournament position is probably Charlotte.
Great.
But yeah, the Wizards are right there, the Knicks are right there, and they're only like 3 or 4 games back. All you need is a good streak like the Celtics have been. But yeah, the Knicks aren't going anywhere. So
gotcha. All right, my closing thoughts is a little bit of a hot take. There's a little bit of a hot take. I say Brooklyn falls into the playing game. And the only reason why I say they fall into the play-in game because Ben Simmons hasn't played in basically a year. We don't know where he is mentally or physically to be talking about stepping up on the basketball court. Kyrie can only play in 8 games that they have remaining left of the season. And Kevin Durant is coming off an injury where Steve Nash is probably going to have no choice but to manage his minutes because you do not want to risk him getting hurt again.
Right.
So he's probably not going to play in back-to-backs, and he probably won't play 2 games in 3 nights if you're smart for Brooklyn. Because if he gets hurt, there goes your season. It's over. So best case, if you think at full strength you're healthy, if you sit at that 8th spot or 7th to 8th spot, you win your first playing game, you advance. Then now you got a first-round matchup with Miami, which if you think healthy with Durant, now you're addition to Ben Simmons, and when Kyrie's playing, can you beat the Heat in the series? You should feel comfortable enough that you could beat them in the series. But I don't think it's worth pushing when Durant comes back to get back into the top half of the East when if he gets hurt again, your season's done. So that's why I think they'll be in the playing game because I think it's smarter long-term for them to preserve him and not play in for a top seed where you should be good enough with everybody there where that shouldn't matter. And then the East, I'm similar echoing like Pete said and Soto said, I kind of think it's a 2-team race. It's the Warriors and the Suns, and then everybody else is just there for the ride. I don't think any of those teams are good. Even my Lakers are good enough to beat them in the playoff series. You're not beating the Suns, and you're not beating the Warriors with a healthy Draymond in the series. So pretty much those are probably going to be your 2 teams in the Western Conference Finals. I would say Phoenix wins that series. They just have more depth right now than the Golden State Warriors do. And in the Eastern Conference, I see it being a battle between the Philly and Miami Heat. Because I think Harden back is going to be healthy and going to be motivated. I think this is probably going to be the most motivated we've seen Harden since he went to Houston. Because when he went to Houston, he had a lot of questions. Oh, was it just Russell? Was it just Russ KD? And he took off. And I think now he's going to play like y'all been disrespecting my name with the honey bun Harden and the fat boy jokes. I got to show y'all that I really do this. And no team in the Eastern Conference has anybody to stop Joel Embiid. There's nobody in the East that can guard him. So I think that matchup is going to be interesting because it's a contrast of styles. It's a small ball team in Miami and then a bigger lineup with the 76ers.
If it stays as is, second round, you'd have Miami against potentially the Bucks or Cleveland, which is going to be – I don't think Cleveland has enough experience to get past the first round right now.
Mm-hmm.
So then Milwaukee against Miami – that means one of those teams getting bounced, and then it'd be Chicago and Philly. That's tough too because if you get Chicago back and you get Caruso, Lonzo, and a healthy Patrick Williams, that's 3 defenders that you have on the team that can help against Philly. Because at the moment, the way it looks, and we'll see what Philly gets on the buyout market, it's Embiid and Harden, and I worry as a Philly fan, it's going to be your turn, my turn. Because Thibault can't score, and he's your 3. Harris is kind of hit or miss, so he's the guy that's the X factor.
I think he'll thrive now with Harden there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, is he going to step up to 19, 20 points a game, getting easy looks because you're wide open now versus having to create for yourself? Like, that's going to be the question. I still hate that we lost Seth Curry. I feel like I would have given up Thibault before I gave up Curry, but I think
Doc likes
Daryl Morey was playing the long game. Yeah, they wanted the defense, but
Doc loves defense. Come on, Pete.
Okay, but I mean, Thibault sat there and had stupid foul last year that cost us. Go into that again, but gave Atlanta false hope to let's get to the Eastern Conference Finals and bring our team back, and here we are in the 10 seed in the play-in this year, but that's neither here or there. Still didn't make a deal at the trade deadline, even though John Collins should have been moved. But
it's okay. You're not really a Hawks fan. It's okay.
I'm not, but so it's funny because I was watching the Rising Stars game and Suns 5, and he's like, "Dad, like, you watching your favorite team?" And I just messed with him. I was like, "What's Dad's favorite team?" The Hawks. And I was like, no, They are not.
He told the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, because like what a lot of times, like I'll flip through games or whatever, and like I think like the 2 times that recently that he sat with me and like watched because I was trying to teach him different things, it was the Hawks. And like one of the things was like Trae Young with like a 32-foot shot, like pull up. I was like, see, that's why you don't stop and shoot that. And he's like, well, why not? Like he was open. And I was like, yeah, that's a bad shot.
That's today's
And
game, though. He got the right mindset already. He got it already
Yeah,
locked.
yeah.
That's today's mindset. If it's open, shoot it. That's
Yep.
today's game.
Yeah.
But
So.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, all of us, well, except for Pete, is in a happy place with his team currently.
I'm all right with my team because I haven't seen them yet.
But,
Give
I mean,
me a month of watching. Give me
that
till
team
the end of
is at least
March.
in the playoffs. Okay, they're a legitimate playoff team right now. My team is the Lakers are a playing team at best right now,
Right.
and the Knicks is better luck next year.
Right.
Soto just got his Spurs holding on for life over there, but the Knicks.
It's a process. It's going to take a couple years, but I can wait.
But like always, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you tuned in late, you can catch the full episode of the podcast on our YouTube channel, Sounds of the Hardwood. If you prefer the audio version of the podcast, you can listen to it on Spotify, Anchor, or Apple Podcasts. And see you on the next one. We out. Come on, dog. Because it's things